Hi everyone. So I told you guys I was going to be cooking soon, so I've decided to make a chicken pot pie. This is the first time I'm making it this way. So I will show you all the steps and what I've done, and then I'll do an update video on the final product. We're in the midst of a winter storm right now, so my power just went off, but it just popped back on, so we're good. So to start with, let me show you guys. Right here, I've got some sauteed chicken strips that I broke into pieces. The dark spots are bacon. I cooked a couple pieces of bacon, crumbled it up in there. Okay. Now this is sweet potatoes and sauteed onions. I sauteed these in the bacon grease, and I didn't want all that grease in my chicken pot pie, so I put it on a little plate with paper towel to drain the grease. Okay, so I'm going to put this into the bowl of chicken. Okay, that's that. And I'm going to stir that up real good. Next, I'm going to add my frozen veggies. As you can see, it's green beans, corn, and peas. I'm going to stir this in here. Okay. Stir it in there pretty good. Toss it around a little bit. Can you guys see? There we go. Looks pretty tasty. Okay. Now next, I'm going to add the cream of mushroom. I bought 2 cans because I wasn't sure how much I would need, and I'm going to mix it with some heavy cream. In preparation of putting the crust down in the pan, I used some unsalted grass-fed butter just to line the pan. Very lightly. I didn't want it to get real greasy. So let's add the cream of mushroom. Never mind that noise in the background. It's that blue light you see right behind me. That is my kettle for making my hot tea. It gets the water real hot. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with one of those. I'm just going to add 1 can right now because I'm not quite sure how creamy I want it. I mean, I want a good cream. I don't want it runny. I want it kind of thick. So I'm going to add some heavy cream. Stir it around. And I don't have any specific measurements for you guys. I'm just going to make it to kind of how I like mine to look. And you can do the same just as well. got a fire going, so if you hear some crackling in the background, that's the logs doing their job. I don't think I'm going to add the second can of mushroom. I think this is going to be just dandy. As all you know, this is the weekend, January the 23rd weekend, where a lot of people are getting hit pretty hard by the weather. I'm from Texas, but I'm up in Colorado right now. But Texas is going to be hit pretty hard this weekend, according to the weather forecast. Up here, we're just going to be getting maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow. Nothing unusual. Right now, it's about 23 degrees outside. Humidity's, I think, in the 40s, 50s. It might be higher by now, last time I looked. And wind chill is around 9 outside. Okay, this is looking pretty good. You guys see this? Okay. I'm going to add some cracked pepper. I like pepper, so I'm probably going to put a little bit extra. I'm not going to add any salt. The cream of mushroom I purchased was low sodium, but that's probably enough salt for me. I'm not a big salt user. Okay, so we have that. Now, just to show you guys what I'm using for my crust. Step away for a bit. I'm using Pepperidge Farm puff pastry sheets. So what you do is you let them set out room temperature till they get pliable. As you can see back here, I have it on some parchment paper that's been lightly dusted with flour. I use Bob's Red Mill all-purpose flour, and I've rolled it out. And I think it's just about the size I want it to be. And like I said, I've lightly buttered the dish, okay? So I'm going to lay my puff pastry in here. Slowly move it around how I want it to be. Okay. That looks pretty nice. I've never used puff pastry before other than the shells to make desserts. So this is the first time I'm making a chicken pot pie like this. I think this is the first time I've made a chicken pot pie in my life, actually. Okay, so as you can see, I've lined the pan, okay? Now I'm going to put my goodies on the inside. Ooh, perfect fit. Look at that. Sweet. God, this looks so good. I'm so hungry right now. Right now, I am, hold on just a minute. My hands are clean, by the way. Cheers. Having a little mimosa while I cook. Not to get off the subject, but my mimosa that I make, I use Prosecco, and pure orange juice with the pulp. I just want to make sure I get my vitamin C. Okay, so now, guys, I gotta make the top part of the pastry, okay? So see, this is what the puff pastry sheet looks like. It's just a square piece of pastry, raw pastry. I'm gonna roll it out. I hate to turn my back to you guys. However, it's the only way I could fit everything in the video. I'm a novice at this video making, so I have a little tripod stand that I put my phone on. And by the way, I do use a Samsung Galaxy phone, which I have come to find out it does take a much better picture and video. I had an iPhone and it was pretty old, you know. It was about 6 years old, and I decided it was not keeping storage well. I could not ever do a video this long. It would run out of storage. I can only keep like 10 photos on my phone. So I decided to go with a Galaxy, Samsung Galaxy, and also with larger memory. Okay, let's see how this goes. I am not a crust person nor a baker. So I have no idea what to do with it now, so we're just gonna work around, okay? Maybe, I know what I'll do. Get my little scissors, and I'm gonna cut off the excess crust. I got this cool recipe from a friend of mine, very good friend of mine. I was craving a cheesecake, and I was talking to him about it, and he said, hey, I've been making this Japanese cheesecake that's really good. It's not as sweet as a cheesecake, and he's made it multiple times. He said it's his go-to dessert, right? Ooh. I'm not sure what to do with this. So we're just going to pinch it. I'm going to pinch it around. Did y'all hear my Texas accent? Pinch it. I'm going to pinch it around. And stick it in the oven here in a minute. I got to restart my oven because, like I said, the power flashed off for about 2 minutes. Had my oven all ready to go. And now I gotta restart it. It is a propane oven, but you know, it does take electricity. But that doesn't look too bad, does it? I wonder if I need to make some little breathing marks. If I was talking to my mom, she would say, yep, you need to cut some little slashes on the top, let it breathe. Hey, that looks kind of cool. Look, guys. See? So now, I'm going to cut some little marks on the top. Find my knife. Oh, here it is. I know I had it out here ready. Ah, decisions. I'm just going to cut I don't know if you're supposed to do that necessarily with puff pastry. but it will let it breathe while it cooks. Chicken is cooked. Sweet potatoes, onions are cooked. The veggies are somewhat thawed. And, okay. This is good. We got it. Made a few little marks. Doesn't look bad. I don't want to mess with it too much. Now I'm going to start my oven at 350. And how long do I cook this puff pastry for? No. Of course, I probably need my glasses. Well, heavens to Betsy. Where's the cooking instructions? Oh. 15 minutes. At 400 degrees. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of monitor it. I'm going to start it off. Put the oven at 400. 15 minutes, I'm going to check it and see how it looks. Okay, guys? So, if the power would not have popped off, the oven would have been ready and I could have put it in there for you guys. However, I'm going to have to wait for it to warm up. It's still holding heat. It's starting off at 230. So, it shouldn't take that much terrible longer. I sure would like to use these little scraps for something. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure something out. Roll it up. I do have some apple butter. That'd be good. My niece made some homemade apple butter and gave it to us for Christmas. And I could roll this out, spread some apple butter in it, and maybe a little, whoa, the milk top was in there. Walnuts. I do have some walnuts. And I do have some raw pumpkin seeds I could spread in there. That might be a little tasty. We'll see. I'm going to put this in the oven. And I'm going to monitor the time, starting off at 15 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I'm going to do a follow-up video on how it turned out. Double cross fingers, right, guys? Thank you guys for watching. Next will be the Japanese cheesecake. That's a little bit more intricate. So, stay tuned. Bye.